So I saw the new trailer to the fucking Aladdin movie. I'm actually excited for Aladdin. Aladdin was my favorite Disney movie as a kid, and the new trailer they just put out makes it look promising, like the live action remake. I did see the Beauty and the Beast live action. I think Emma Watson did a really fucking kick-ass job playing Isabelle. And like, I'm all for Lion King and how they redid, what else? What's another 3D remake they're doing? They're doing like a bunch of 3D remakes or live action remakes, right? The one that just does not make sense to me is the Dumbo one. The Dumbo one, I don't know if I'll ever be sold on. Jungle Book, yeah. As Danny DeVito, it doesn't matter. Christopher Robin, I never saw it. I know it came out. You watched the Han Solo movie on Netflix the other day. It was pretty decent. I had literal, like, okay, this may shock you. I saw Star Wars 4, 5, and 6. Episode 4, 5, and 6. I saw those 2 years ago for the first time. Then I've seen 1, 2, and 3 a long time ago because one of my best friends was really into them. So I've seen Star Wars because my girlfriend is like a huge fan, or at least was. And then with her hype, I was excited to see Rogue One, and I was also excited to see episode 7. Is it episode 7 and 8? And I honestly did not give one flying shit about Han Solo. 4, 5, and 6? I don't think they were bad movies, not at all. I think for their time, dude, Star Wars was probably a step above everything else. I mean, I haven't gone back to check out the 1960s, 70s, whenever they came out, whatever the fuck time that was. I never really cared, but I'm willing to bet that Star Wars was a step ahead. Rogue One was, I really liked Rogue One. I actually really liked Rogue One. Novelty was with all the special effects. I could see that. Flash Gordon. The only thing I know about Flash Gordon is from the movie Ted with Mark Wahlberg and what's his nuts from Family Guy. Seth MacFarlane. Thank you, that guy. The OG Star Wars were so far ahead of everything else at the time, it's just stupid. Maybe, what's his name? Who's the guy who made Star Wars? What's the guy's name? I always forget his name. Maybe he befriended aliens. George Lucas. Hollywood is just so hit and miss. I'm really anxious to see how the trailer for the Mario movie looks. They're making a Mario movie. Pixar. It's the same studio as Pixar. You guys are fucking with me, right? You guys know that there's like, they're making like, it's by, what's the fucking Dream something? DreamWorks. I'm pretty sure it's by DreamWorks. It's the same people who made Kung Fu Panda. They're making a Mario movie. They've been in production for like the past 7 months or something. DreamWorks isn't Pixar? Oh, well, that's my fucking mistake. Pixar is Disney? Okay, I don't know the company that's making it, but there is a Mario movie being made by a very reputable animated movie creator studio, and I thought it was Pixar, but it's not. Jeez! I am not fucking with you. It's Illumination. Can't be any worse than the best Mario movie. Hey, dude, I remember watching the Super Mario movie with what's his nuts, and then Yoshi was a fucking little raptor, and Bowser was like this CEO of a company who turned all of his employees into Goombas, but they didn't even look like Goombas. It's such a cheesy movie. You can't hate it. You could say it's a bad movie, but you can't hate that movie. Like, I hate The Last Airbender movie that M. Night Shyamalan fucking, you know, skewered the world's opinion on The Last Airbender. I hate that movie. I hate Dragon Ball Evolution. Trashy movie. But the Super Mario movie, dude, so wholesome. That Shyamalan movie doesn't exist. I wish it didn't. There was no movie made about The Last Airbender. You guys are all in denial. And then Netflix is like remaking the series now. I just don't get it, man. Why can't they let things die? It's like fucking J.K. Rowling keeps adding this secret lore to the Harry Potter universe. Yeah, did you know in medieval times, the fucking wizards and witches of the Harry Potter universe would just shit their pants and use a disappearing spell to make it go away? Unnecessary lore. Who fucking cares? Let the universe die. And then, you know, like the whole cursed child thing comes out, and it's like there's an uproar because Hermione is cast as a African-American actress, and everyone's upset because it's improper casting. Personally, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a flying fuck. And then J.K. Rowling tries to come out and say, well, how do you know? I never specified that Hermione's race. And it's like there's literally a sighting in the fucking book that says she peers around a tree with her stark white face or whatever the fuck it is. It's like, like, give me a break, woman. I'm not angry, I'm passionate. Yeah, I know. I fucking hated the second installment of Fantastic Beasts. Oh, look it. You have a random unknown brother to Dumbledore. Dumbledore has a secret relative that nobody knew about. And guess what? He is super powerful and he was in the first movie and apparently died in the first movie, but didn't actually die. Ooh, the plot thickens even more. What's gonna happen in movie 3? Maybe we'll get a look at the wizards that shit themselves back in 1700 BC. Maybe, just maybe. And then they tried making Nagini like part of the movie too, like adding that little nuance. Oh, look it, Nagini was actually a human that was cursed to become a snake. Oh, look, we're miraculously tying universes together in a way you never thought of. You like the Nagini storyline? I just feel like everything in that movie was a forced like bucket of shit because they forced it together. What did you come into? A passionate discussion of how J.K. Rowling doesn't let her books and movies just have some creative thinking outside of her galaxy brain. Dude, J.K. Rowling, she's just that. Shut your mouth. J.K. Rowling is a treasure. J.K. Rowling is high as fuck, okay? I don't care what you say. I don't think that the world had to hear that medieval wizards and witches shit their pants and would just make it go away with, you know, invisible and disappearing spells. Oh, look it, I'm just gonna shit myself and make it travel to a faraway forest. Yes, let me, hold on. Okay. Leviosa. Boom! Make my shit fly the fuck away! Like, there's a point where you leave things up to interpretation. You leave things up to interpretation, right? That's what you do. That's what a good book does. And I don't even read, but I feel like good stories, they leave some parts and the future because you can't keep a series going forever. It has to have an end. And then that's where fanfic comes from, right? That's why Twilight has the fanfic of 50 Shades of Grey, right? It's a fanfiction. That's all it is. Yeah, you get wizard pooping lore. The wizard poop lore. It's perfect. Boruto Potter, the next Hokage. Yeah, like apparently the cursed child, it's not even written by J.K. Rowling, but she approved it. I don't know. I don't know. Like, I've never read the books, but I fucking love the story. I love the franchise, and I just don't get how. So what you're telling me is if I go write a sequel to Dragon Ball Z and hand it to Akira Toriyama, if it's good enough, I get the stamp of approval that it's true. Isn't that how Dragon Ball Heroes got made? What's Dragon Ball Heroes? Don't you fuck with me right now. What the fuck is Dragon Ball Heroes? I know of Dragon Ball Z, GT, Super, that's it. I hate reading, Sour Newt. I'm not a fan of reading for entertainment. I'll read for knowledge. I won't read for entertainment. To me, reading is not entertaining. Instead, what I do is I watch the movies and I have Caitlin sitting there next to me. And what she does is she walks me through how the books actually went and the details I missed out on. Like something that she was so prominent about telling me was like in the Half-Blood Prince. So when you watch the Half-Blood Prince and it shows Albus going to pick up Voldemort or Tom Riddle at the time. When Albus goes to pick up Tom Riddle, he's like this evil little, he's this evil little boy, and you're supposed to be able to see the evil ooze from his ears. And how when he grows up, he goes up to what's his name and asks about the Horcruxes, and he looks like that child that's gonna grow up to be like the the next Unabomber or the next fucking Joker, whatever you feel. And she's like, in the books, that's not what he's depicted as. The reason Tom Riddle was so successful was because he was so charming, because no one saw it coming because he was such a charmer. He was very handsome and very charismatic. He did not come off as this evil little boy. He had charisma. And it's just those little details that I admire and I know from my girlfriend. Exactly. Only Dumbledore. Yeah, only Dumbledore could see through it. Super Dragon Ball Heroes is a Japanese ONA based on the Dragon Ball franchise, more specifically the arcade game of the same name that premiered on July 1st, 2018. The series is said to have the Ball, Super, and Broly. What? Okay, well, first of all, I'm not a big fan of Super. In fact, if we're gonna get into fun stories, stories and people fucking up stories, let me tell you about Dragon Ball Super. Fun fact, 100% true, and I've said it on here before. So after Dragon Ball Evolution came out, that was the last iteration of the Dragon Ball franchise after GT, right? And GT isn't even specifically canon because Akira Toriyama didn't write it. However, the Japanese government reached out to Akira Toriyama because they felt the Dragon Ball name was tarnished so badly because of the movie. The Japanese government funded Akira Toriyama to continue the series. That is why we have Dragon Ball Super Battle of the Gods. Believe it. You could fucking fact check that shit. Heroes is worse? I don't even want to know. It probably has like, hey, let's time travel. You know how you ruin a series? Add time traveling. You want to add plot holes to something? Throw in time traveling. They should let it rip. It's what I grew up loving, man. I grew up loving Dragon Ball. Whoa. Thank you for the Twitch Prime subscription. Enjoy my emotes and the constant rants of movies that I find unpleasant and other rants like Professor McGonagall's butthole. Okay, Dragon Ball Z Kai was fucking awesome. I think Kai was really fucking awesome. They did leave out, you know, some little plot twists and stuff, but as far as like the series as a whole goes, you gotta think, right? Watching a series that's fucking 400 episodes plus long, that's gonna be hard for anyone to jump into. I've never seen One Piece. I've never seen One Piece or Bleach. When the Shonen Jump started coming out, you know, you could fall down One Piece, Bleach, or Naruto. I fell down Naruto. You fell down Bleach. The movies that just went with Broly was good too. I watched Broly about a few weeks ago. It was really good. You never hopped on the anime train in general? Anime is really good. It's crazy that like you can tell any story with anime. Like there's an anime me and Caitlin watch called Food Wars, and dude, with Food Wars, like it's literally an anime based around this kid going to a culinary school. Like that's the whole anime. He goes to a culinary school, like the best culinary school in the world, and it is so fucking amazing. You're like, wow, that sounds like a boring story. No, Jimmy. Food Wars is amazing. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is probably my favorite anime. You need to finish Brotherhood? Yeah, you do. Kenshin and old anime back in the day kind of just drifted away from it. Dude, Rurouni Kenshin, Yu Yu Hakusho, Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball Z. What was the one? It wasn't Gundam. It wasn't Gundam, but it was like giant robots. And there was like this big black robot that had like this fist that would like pull backwards. Big O! Yeah! Oh my god, dude. I got behind some Big O back in the day. Or Cowboy Bebop, Trigun. Dude, Toonami is like responsible for my upbringing. Remember when Toonami, you could vote for the next model, what's his name would get upgraded to? And then when the host got upgraded, like it was like, holy shit, he looks so different. That explains a lot. Yeah, you remember when they murdered? Okay, see, look, I grew up by that time. By the time they murdered the Toonami host, I stopped watching. My balls dropped and I had to, you know, like move on to other things. I don't remember why. Metalocalypse was fucking awesome. However, I was never a fan of Aqua Teen Hunger Force or Harvey Birdman. Those two shows were just so strange. Yeah, the one with the milkshake and the talking meatball, I didn't care for it. I fucking hated it. Well, I didn't hate it. It was just like, I had a bunch of friends in high school who were into it, and I just could not find myself behind it. The dumbest show I could get behind was Cow and Chicken. Because let's be real, Cow and Chicken was really fucking stupid, but it had its moments. Rocko's Modern Life was cool. Hey Arnold was awesome. Recess was cool. Tiny Toons was cool. I like Tiny Toons. Okay, so Codename Kids Next Door was like that new show that got voted on that I fucking could not stand. Animaniacs? Dude, I used to have that one song that Animaniacs had memorized, where like they would name every country from around the world. And then they had the one with all the states. Was it all the states? I can't remember. I think it was. Samurai Jack. Oh, Samurai Jack. Didn't they just bring back Samurai Jack and make it something different? Different Aku voice actor? That sucks. Oh yeah, Batman Beyond. Dude, Saturday morning cartoons were fucking awesome. They were awesome until they weren't. Like, once Yu-Gi-Oh started putting dice into the game, and it was like all about dice rolls and shit, I don't know. Didn't really get behind that movement. Oh, Digimon! Dude, I loved Digimon. I loved it until the movie, and then after the movie, I think I fell off. Yu Yu Hakusho was amazing. Man, I'm so nostalgic of the 90s. Feels like it was simpler times, you know? One Punch Man next month. I briefly watched One Punch Man. I didn't watch all the way to the season finale. I got to the point where him and that robot were like testing. I think they were taking tests. And then someone barged in to try and like fuck up One Punch Man. I don't really remember. I'm more excited in April for Game of Thrones. I get a lot of people didn't like the last season. I'm just happy to have a conclusion to the story. Like, I want to know, I really hope that they dig into the origins of everything, because we have no idea where the White Walkers, like, why they are the way that they are. We just know that somewhere down the line, a human really fucked up and made a mistake. Who built the wall? Like, these are the answers I want. Who's going to die at the end? Everyone dies, right? Everyone's gonna die. I really hope Circe, like, I'm mostly excited to see Circe, like, just have her brain squeezed out of her head. I fucking hate Circe. Watching her blow up the church was satisfying. Well, everyone in the church was fucking crazy. The great Sparrow, dude. I was so fucking tired of him. I hope the show for The Last Airbender is good enough and successful, because it could be good and not be successful, right? I hope it's good and successful enough to make it to where we can see seasons of Aang after, you know, after Ozai. Yeah, Korra's cool. I really liked season 1 and 2. Season 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, no, I just didn't care for season 4. But see, typically the weird thing is the show, I cared less about Korra and more about either supporting characters or the villains. I think that's something that Korra did, because Korra was a fucking bitch. Like Amon, dude, Amon was like the coolest fucking villain in almost any fucking, like, top 5 villain of any anime show. Brilliant. A master manipulator who wanted to take the power of bending away from all benders to make the world equal. Brilliant idea.